Critical thinking on becoming a professional teacher. This slide shows my roadmap towards critical thinking. So basically in this slides I have clearly explained how my professional teacher course was and how I had the road towards it. When I started to become a teacher, the first and foremost thing that came into my mind was what was the motive behind becoming a teacher. In that phase, my teachers and mentors helped me a lot during the Bachelor of Education course, that is B.Ed from Navrashna University. I started thinking how to think, and this was only because of the critical thinking classes that were being practiced in Navrashna University. The way we used to think was totally different, and here came up the CT classes, which helped us to rethink how to think. Then they also showed us that what kind of needs and wants are for us as well as for others. So here we were directed towards not to go beyond the wants and greeds of others. We don't have to judge ourselves for thinking and wanting. So here we started to think that if we have made a road for ourselves, then in that road we should exclude the people, the thinking of the people and the wanting of them. But instead of them, we have to look upon the thinking and the wanting of us. Here, by using the traits like reflection, sitting and reflecting on the thoughts, understanding of what our wants are, and deciding the future, looking upon the purpose. Again, we were directed to look upon the purpose of what we have been taking up as our mentor or as our road to the aim that we have decided, that is to become a teacher. Then we have to be biased to unbiased, that is we don't have to be biased towards anything that we like or we love. So here we have to think positively, negatively, as well as in the middle of the scene. The scenario will be that you have to understand and judge between what is good or bad for you. Only and until then you will be able to look upon the purpose and decide for your best. Clarity, decision and accuracy, these were the key words that were taught in the CT classes. Here with clarity, we got to know about how to decide for a particular session, for a particular decision. So precision basically means to be precise, to be accurate, to be on the point, to the point, and start discussing only those topics or doing only those things that will lead us to the same path that we are wanting for. Then try to become critical thinker. This was the only way where we can achieve the success. So here, after going through all such decisions, precisions, accuracies, biased and unbiased natures, needs and wants of excluding the needs and wants of others, and looking upon our own purposes, looking upon our own wants and desires, and thinking of how to judge the people and how to become a critical thinker. This was the roadmap which helped me to become a critical thinker today. The changes that took place in me was usually when before taking the CT classes, I was always crying, being sad at small, small things. But then, when I came upon the fears and weaknesses of ourselves, when we were taught of how to overcome the thoughts, the thought processes, the weaknesses, and how to judge our strengths and how to build up our weaknesses and build up our strengths, I came to become a little bit okay. And after becoming that, I became an independent woman who can think of smartly without the interference of other people. Now I gave up the thought what people will say, and I accepted that whatever I will like to do in my future and whatever the path I am going to take for myself will be the best. Strategies that I'm using for applying critical thinking in my personal life are, so now, after getting the CT classes, after doing so much in thinking processes, right now I'm getting up early in the morning and having sound sleep. Again, I started taking walks in the morning and taking enough of sunlight, because sunlight energizes our strengths and makes us strong enough. Developing proper eating habits was the special thing that I came up with, because before that I used to eat junk, I used to eat street foods. But after taking the CT classes, understanding the importance of health and how proper eating habits can build and develop our own personality helped me in choosing the right habits for eating. Now I'm keeping a diary to write down my thoughts. So, the diary writing is again one of the most important part of city. This is because writing down our thoughts and sitting and writing down my thoughts and reflecting on them makes me know what I have done right or wrong, what was to be done, what was not to be done. And when we reflect to our thoughts, when we reflect to the ideas, and when we reflect to our own things that we have done, we can become a better human being. Again, always doing important work and thinking in the morning. So this is the most important thing, that whatever thinking and whatever teaching or whatever good amount of work that we want, when we want to do something regarding our mind, regarding our studies, then that should always be done in the morning, because in the fresh mind, the fresh mood, you can study well, you can think well, you can always think positively and make good decisions. Always try to find out the truth before trusting or following someone or something blindly. This is one of the most important part where we thought of in the city, because city taught us that blindly following people, the strategies, the biased thinking, the biased way of living life is all now gone. Now we have to find out the truth for ourselves. We have to stop trusting each and everything, each and everybody, whether it be web, media, posters, videos, people, or anything else alike. But we have to think and take out the truth from it. We have to search for the truth, and then again, if we give if we find out the truth, only then we should start following. Otherwise, we should never follow anyone, anything blindly. Using standards of thinking everywhere and every time, try to become fair minded like fan. So here, when we started thinking everywhere and every time, means that in each and every sphere we have to stop. If there is anything particular in our life going on, between anything socially, emotionally, economically, everywhere you have to stop and rethink and rethink and rethink. That is the most important thing to do. Always look upon the trade of thinking, that is failing and wanting. So why am I thinking? What should I be thinking? Am I thinking it in the right way? How am I feeling? How is my feeling good or bad? Is it right or wrong? And what am I wanting? That is, whatever I'm wanting right now, is it good for me? Is it worth wanting? Or is it just a kind of waste of time. These things should always be looked upon. Try to use elements of reasoning for our own self as well as for others. So, always using the element of reasoning, that is, whenever we have any problem we should reason it out, that if I was in that place, what was it going to be, what will would have been the reason for that person doing something to me, what was the reason for some kind of media control or videos that are uploaded. So we should first reason ourselves, and then only we should follow. Purpose should always be focused upon in each and everything you do. So that whatever you do, like for example, we are making videos, we are doing ppts, we are doing lectures, we are teaching, we are doing so many lot of things, but for each and everything that we do, we should always remember that we should know with which purpose we are doing this thing. And then try to focus on developing the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is the frontal mind of a person. In that prefrontal cortex, the main role of the mind is that if we develop that mind, then we will always be energized, enthusiastic, and always be positive on our thinking capacity. Strategies that I will use as a teacher in my classes for my students. These are the strategies that I am using after becoming a CT person, that is critical thinker. My class will start with 4 or 5 minutes of meditation daily. I will make sure that my students get enough sun exposure. All my hard and complicated topics will be taken up in the morning time. My student will have a diary of their own in which they will write down their thoughts. I will focus on the type of breakfast and lunch my students eat. So these are going to be the important strategies. Again, you can, the strategies that I've also added are, I will try to do the learning on the basis of attention, retention, and focus. That is, first I will try to gain the attention of the students, then I will try to retain their concepts by repeating, exercising, and giving examples, and then focus is the must in learning process. After doing all these attention, retention, focus, learning basis, we will be able to attain whatever we have taught in the students mind. I will provide a friendly atmosphere to my students so that they can ask questions. After explaining any concept, I will ask them to create their own concept map. My classes will be more on reasoning and discussions. I will always try to mention my purpose of the class. Now, for this, I thank Vaibhavi ma'am for each and everything from the heart and brain. From the bottom of my heart, this PPT was especially made to thank Vaibhavi ma'am for everything she has done in my life, as she has made me become a critical thinker. With lots and lots of love from Ms. B. Thank you for watching.